All right, Mrs. O'Donnell here. Here's our next Delta Math section, arithmetic and geometric sequences. So let's see here. It says the first three terms of a sequence are given, round to the nearest thousandth if necessary. And they want us to find the 30th term. Okay, so our sequence is 263, 258, 253, ... All right, so let's hop over to our sketch pad. They want us to find the 30th term. Now 30 is a pretty high term number, so it's going to be hard to do that one using a recursive sequence. So we want to think about our explicit formulas. Okay, so we want to write the explicit formula first, and then go from there. Now, in order to write the explicit formula, we have to determine, is it arithmetic or geometric? And just by looking at this, let's see here. I think this is going to be arithmetic, but let's test it out. If it's arithmetic, I should be able to find a common difference by subtraction. 258 minus 263. And when I do that, 258 minus 263, that gives me -5. So I know I'm subtracting 5 to go from 263 to 258. And hey, if I do it again, 258 minus 5 gives me 253, so it is arithmetic. If we remember, our arithmetic explicit formula is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. So we're just plugging in. Our first term is 263. Our common difference is -5, and then we've got our n minus 1 in there. And they wanted us to find the 30th term. So 263 plus -5 times 30 minus 1. And now at this point, I should just be following my order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS, and since we're simplifying, we're going in order, right? So 263, I'm going to do what's inside my parentheses first. 30 minus 1 is 29. And then I'm going to do, let's see, I don't have any exponents, so next is multiplication division. So 263, let's see here, -5 times 29 gives me -145. And then I'm going to do my addition subtraction. So 263 plus -145, that gives me 118. So my 30th term should be 118. And we come back here and we type it in, 118, click submit. Yes, I'm sure. And we got our green check mark. We didn't even have to do any rounding. Okay, so that was nice. Right, and Delta Math walks us through finding the common difference, coming up with the formula, finding the 30th term by evaluating, meaning you're plugging 30 in for n. Okay, let's see if we can do a geometric one as well. Ooh, this one looks geometric. Yep, this one looks geometric. I like it, I like it. So let's hop over to our sketch pad. Create a blank one. All right, so it's 1 6/5 and 36 25ths. 1 6/5 and 36 25ths. All right, so here, if you have really good number sense and you're not afraid of fractions, which a lot of times we let fractions kind of scare us off, but they're actually really nice to work with. Especially when you have this number 1, we know I'm multiplying by 6/5 here, right? And I could test that out and say, oh, am I doing it again? Am I multiplying by 6/5 again? And we know, hey, 6/5 times 6/5. I'm just multiplying straight across. 6 times 6 is 36. 5 times 5 is 25. Hey, that's my third term, so it worked. Okay, so we know our common ratio is 6/5. Okay, so it is geometric. If we come up with our geometric formula, G sub n equals G sub 1 times our common ratio raised to the power of n minus 1. If I go ahead and start plugging in, my first term is 1. My common ratio is 6/5, and I'm raising it to the power of n minus 1. Let's see here. What are they asking us to find? The 10th term. So g sub 10 equals 1 times 6/5 to the 10 minus 1. So we're going to follow our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally PEMDAS to simplify, meaning I'm going to do what's inside my parentheses first. So the first thing I'm going to do is 10 minus 1, which is 9. And then I'm going to do my exponent. So I'm going to do 6/5 raised to the power of 9. And I'm just going to grab my calculator for that. I'm going to make sure and use parentheses to keep in mind raised to the power of 9. And they did tell us to go ahead and round to the thousandths place, I think, right? So I'm going to take 1,000 is 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So what is that? 7 due to that 9. It's going to push it up. So 5 and let's see, that's going to push the 5 up. So it'd be 5.160, I believe. And then multiply by 1, right, would just stay 5.160. So let's see, 5.160. Let's see what Delta Math says, if they like our answer. And we'll go down. Okay, so they didn't even require the 0. Sometimes they require the 0 if you really are going to attend to precision and round to the thousandths place. That would be the third decimal spot. Okay, and that is how we generate a term using an explicit formula.